Welcome to session 2 of model 4, in which we are lecturing. I am giving the lecturing related to the activated sludge process which are remaining in the previous session. That in the earlier session we are discussing about what is biological wastewater treatment engineering, what is activated sludge process, what is the principle involved in that particular one, and all these things. So some of the important factors are to be taken into consideration before we go for the designing of a activated sludge process. Designing of a activated sludge process, out of which food to microorganism ratio is very important things to be noted when you go for design of a activated sludge process. That too in a design of a aeration tank. That too in a design of a aeration tank. One of the most fundamental control parameter of the activated sludge process is the relationship between the load of BOD entering to aeration plant and the mass of the bacteria in the aeration tank available to treat the incoming BOD. Means what about the amount of wastewater which is entering into the tank, and also what about the amount of microorganisms, otherwise mass of the microorganisms which are present in the particular are very important. So we are maintaining the food to microorganism ratio in a proper manner. Okay, so this is the therefore known as a food to microorganism ratio, also often referred to as the sludge loading rate. Means sludge loading rate means what about the amount of sludge which is entered into that particular one, as well as the amount of the microorganisms which are present in the system. The amount of the biomass within the reactor is known as the mixed liquor suspended solids. Means activated sludge. What about the amount of activated sludge which is present in the reactor? Reactor means in the aeration tank is known as a mixed liquor suspended solids, and also another one is there MLSVSS, means mixed liquor volatile suspended solids. Here, if the food to microbial ratio is less, then microbial activity is a faster one. So we are supposed to maintain for a efficient wastewater treatment engineering, otherwise efficient activated sludge process. We are supposed to maintain a food to microbial ratio in the lesser value. Means for best food to microbial ratio is about zero point 0.6 is the one for the conventional activated sludge process. Conventional activated sludge process. The calculation of the food to microbe ratio as well as mean cell residence time. Mean cell residence time is the time up to which the microbes are in a active stage. Active stage. So food to microbe ratio, FM ratio is S naught by theta into X, where FM is the food to microbe ratio in terms of per day. S naught is the influent BOD or COD concentration in gram per meter cube. Theta is the hydraulic detention time. What about the time required to allow the system in the aeration tank? X is the MLVSS concentration in gram per meter cube. Mean cell residence time is based on the aeration tank volume is calculated by theta c equals VR into X by VW QW into XW plus QE into XE, where theta is c is the mean cell residence time in terms of days. VR is the aeration tank volume in terms of meter cube. X is the MLVSS concentration in terms of gram per meter cube. QW is the waste sludge flow rate in terms of meter cube per day. XW is the MLVSS concentration in the waste sludge in terms of gram per meter cube. QE is the treated effluent flow rate in terms of meter cube per day. XE is the MLVSS concentration in the effluent in terms of gram per meter cube. It is based on the aeration tank volume. Based on the total system volume, we can find out the mean cell residence time theta c equals xt by xw into xw qw into xw plus qu into xe, where xt is the total mass of the MLVSS in the system. The advantages of the sludge process, activated sludge process, it is having its own advantages. It gives the clear and non-putrescible effluent. Means it's given a clear effluent. Means amount of reduction of BOD as well as the suspended solids is high when compared to other treatment plants. The process is free from offensive odor since it is usually it is carried out in the aerobic condition. So there is no odor. If it is in anaerobic condition, then there may be chances of methane gas and H2S and all these things. The process requires limited land area. The land area required for this process is less when compared to other system. The sludge has commercial value. The sludge which is developed due to the decomposition of the organic matter and converted into stable product, it is having a commercial value and it is used as a menu for the different purpose. The disadvantages of the sludge process are the process requires skilled personnel, careful supervision of our design, operation, and maintenance. Since here, what about the amount of sludge, amount of wastewater which is entering to the system? What about the amount of wastewater which is leaving the system? What about the food to microbial ratio? What about the retention time? And all these things are observed by the skilled labor. Since if any person who is having an idea about the what about the lifestyle of the microorganisms, is, is the lifestyle of the micro, then only it is possible to maintain the particular system in a good condition, otherwise in a efficient manner. If we are not maintain the conditions properly, conditions means food to micro ratio, otherwise loading rates and all these things, then it may lead to the efficiency may decrease by that particular one. It gives poor results for shock loads and fluctuation in the effluent. Definitely, it is very important to maintain the effluent rates is constant. If there is any fluctuation in occurs, then definitely it is affecting on the whole treatment unit. Unless otherwise you are maintaining the constant flow, then it is not working properly. By that, it is leads to the poor condition. The volume of sludge produced as large and difficulties arises during dewatering of sludge. Due to the decomposition of the organic matter, that particular organic matters are converted into a sludge. Since it is suspension system, since the water is also present in the particular one, the water content in the sludge is too high, and if you want to dispose the sludge in an environment eco-friendly manner, then it requires dewatering of the sludge. It is a difficult process and also costly one. It requires more initial investment. The investment for the construction of the activated sludge process is high. By that, it is affecting on the economic status of the or conditions of the treatment unit. Aeration tank. Aeration tank is one of the important things which are taken into consideration when you go for design of an activated sludge process. When you go for design of activated sludge process, we are considering the design of aeration tank as well as design of the secondary clarifier. These two things are very important. It is provide oxygenation and mixing, and it is designed to meet the calculated oxygen demand of the process. Means it is meant for aeration tank is meant for oxygenation or increase the DO concentration, oxygen concentration in the system, as well as mixing of the microorganism with the organic matter in a proper manner. The methods employed for the purpose of aeration in active step process is if you want to increase the aeration rate or if you want to increase the dissolved oxygen concentration in the aeration tank, we will go for aerating the aeration tank contents by naturally or artificially, whether it may be a diffused air aerator, mechanical aeration, combined diffuse and mechanical aeration. These processes are the natural process by which it is possible to increase the reoxygenation rate in the aeration tank. Aeration tank loading criteria. There are some before we go for design of aeration tank, we are taken to consideration of the some of the criteria. On the basis of that only, it is possible to design the or design the aeration tank. That is means length, breadth, width, depth, and all these things. First thing is hydraulic retention time (HRT). Load at which sewage applied in the aeration tank. Usually, it is expressed in terms of hours or in terms of day. So what about the amount of sewage which may enter into that particular one is expressed in terms of HRT. Out of the time, suspension time. Volumetric BOD loading, it means BOD5 applied per unit volume of aeration. Means what about the amount of BOD5 which is entering applied per unit volume? Usually it is expressed in terms of kg of BOD5 per meter cube. BOD5 per meter cube. Usually for the conventional activated process, this ranges from zero point 0.3 to zero point 0.6 kg of BOD per meter cube per day. Organic loading rate based on food to microorganism ratio, the main factor controlling the BOD removal. Lower the FM food to microorganism value, high will be the BOD removal. For conventional activated sludge process, it is maintained between zero point 0.6 to zero point 0.8, and also it is depending upon the amount of what about the MLSS which is available in the system. The solid retention time or mean cell retention time or sludge age is termed as the average time for which the mass of this suspended solid remains under aeration. Means what about the total time? What about usually it is expressed in terms of days, hours. So what about the time up to which the system mass or sludge is in the suspension only? The for conventional activated sludge process, it is 5 to 15 days, and for the modified one, it is for modified it may from 20 to 30 days. And sludge volume index. The purpose of the returning sludge is to maintain the sufficient concentration of activated sludge in the aeration tank so as to obtain the required degree of treatment in the given time interval. In the given time interval, usually the returning sludge is one of the important factors which is influencing on the particular sludge volume index. So if you want to improve the efficiency of the activated sludge process, the returning sludge rate is also one of the factor affecting on that particular one. So usually the conventional activated sludge process is having some of the deficiency, means it is having some of the drawbacks. To improve that particular one, to improve that particular one, they may go for modified the activated sludge process. Several modifications of the conventional activated sludge process have been developed. The objective is to supply the maximum amount of sludge when it is optimum conditions to oxidize, absorb the organic matter. In step variation process, it is one of the process which is employed in the active sludge process. The sewage is introduced along the length of the aeration tank in several steps. Instead of applying the sewage at the inlet, they are applying the sewage at a different intervals of times along the length of that particular aeration tank. While returning sludge is introduced at the head only, it means the returning sludge is introduced at the initial time of the particular head only. Such an arrangement results in the uniform air requirement along the entire length of the tank. The process enables the large reduction in the size of the aeration tank. Means usually the size of the active aeration tank may be whether it may be rectangular one or circular one. So by doing this one, it is possible to reduce the size of the aeration tank. Size of the aeration tank. There are two important distinctions between the step aeration system and conventional system. First, screened sewage is directed into the step aeration tank without any primary setting. Means without any screening, it is possible to apply the sewage to that particular system. Second is the detention time or aeration period is about 30 hours, whereas in conventional system, the detention time is about 6 hours. Means here by doing this one, the detention time may be increased from 6 hours to 30 hours. Index of the mass of the active microorganisms. The mixed liquor suspended solids content generally taken as an index for the mass of the microorganism in the aeration tank. It contains living, dead organisms, organic as well as inorganic matter. So the value of MLSS which are present in the system, which indicates how actively the MLSS is removing the organic matter which are present in the system. On the basis of that only, it is possible to decide how the microbes are very active in the particular system. The modification of activated sludge process. Modification of the activated sludge process. The conventional process is one in which usually the sludge detection time is from 5 to 15 days. FM ratio is 0.2 to zero point 0.4, and aeration loading is 0.3 to zero point 0.6 kg per meter cube per day. MLSS loading is 1500 to 300 mg per L. Like that, the recirculation is maintained between 0.25 to zero point 0.5. Tapered aeration process is one in which the diffusers are placed along the length of the tank to increase the dissolved oxygen concentration in the particular one, and diffuser is introduced towards the discharging end. Step aeration process. Step aeration process is one in which the influent applied at different interval of points, different applied at the several points of the aeration tank. Several points of the aeration tank. The return sludge is applied at the head of the aeration tank, and it is by that it is uniformly distributed throughout the system. Contact stabilization process. Contact stabilization process is one in which the activated sludge process, in which the mixture of the influent and the returning sludge is done in the contact basin. Contact basin in which organics are absorbed by the microorganisms. By that, the efficiency of that particular plant is increased. Okay, and completely mixed one is in which the influent and return sludge are mixed, applied at different points along the length or width of the basin. It is in which the return sludge as well as the wastewater is mixed with the proper proportion and applied at the different intervals of the time along the length of the variation time. And next one is modified aeration process. Modified aeration process is one which the aeration is modified, whether we go for mechanical air diffuser method or at the from the bottom or at the middle and all these things. Extended aeration process. Extended aeration process is one in which we are operating the conditions at different things, means by increasing the HRD hydraulic rating time, and by high sludge age, by increasing the MLSS concentration and maintaining the low FM ratio, and BOD improve. In this case, BOD removal is high. For this one, the example is oxidation, which is the best example for the extended aeration system or extended aeration process. Operational difficulties. The rising sludge or floating sludge. It is due to denitrification in the settling tank, releasing nitrogen gas which burns up the sludge. Means this is one of the difficulty arises when they go for activated sludge process. Usually it is remedial measures for this one is by increasing the sludges, decreasing the SRT, increase the speed of the sludge scraper mechanism, and by that it is possible to improve the efficiency of that particular one and also reducing the operational difficulties. Sludge bulking. Sludge with poor settling characteristics in terms of bulking solid sludges occurs. The usually the remedial measures for this one is introducing oxygen or increasing the DO concentration, DO supply to the system, and the pH may be reduced, or prolonging the digestion time of the sludge accumulation at the bottom of the activated sludge, and all these things. And control measures is reduce the wastewater flow in the aeration tank, reduce the suspended solids in the MLSS, and we go for application of the chlorine and increase the pH of the system. By that it is possible to avoid the operational difficulties which may arises in the activated sludge process. These are some of the problems which are related to the activated sludge process. The first one is an average operating data for the conventional activated sludge treatment plant is given like that, and is also find out the what about the aeration period, food to microorganism ratio, percentage of efficient BOD removal, sludge rate, and all these things. For aeration tank, we know that T equals V by Q into 24. By substituting the value of V and Q, we get 7.44 hours is the aeration period or HRT. Food to microbial ratio is calculated by using the formula F equals Q into L naught, and finally M equals total mass of the MLS is applied So food to microbe ratio is the, we are getting 0.215 BOD per day kg of MLSS. And if you want to find out the what about the food to microbe ratio, usually we are getting 0.269 kg of BOD per day per kg of MLSS. And the efficiency of the BOD removal is find out by using the formula, we get 87.5%. The sludge age is find out by substituting the QC equals Vx1 by VW XW plus Q minus QW into XC. Finally, we get 9.32 days is the sludge age for the given data. And design a secondary treatment. Another problem, next problem is related to the design of a settling tank. It is one of the important component of the active sludge process to design aeration tank as well as settling tank of an active sludge for the given data. Okay, so from the given data, we find out the peak flow and also take peak factor is 2.25. From that, we find out the average flow. Average flow is 20,000 meter cube per day, and find out the surface loading rate. By assuming surface loading rate, we find out the surface area is around 1000 meter square. Okay, so here surface loading for peak low flow, surface loading is 45 meter cube per day per meter square. So on the basis of that, we find out the area required is 480 meter square. Also, we are supposed to find out the area required for the peak flow is 540 meter square. Once we know the area, okay, and we find out the for circular section, we find out the dia equals pi d square by 4. On the basis of that, we get the value of d is 35.7 meter. Okay, so on the basis of that, we find out the actual solid loads at average flow is 59 kg per day per meter square. And also it is possible to find out the length of the weir is around 113 meter. So some of the MCQs related to the active sludge process is as follows. So which of the following is the correct expression for the aeration period in hours is 24 V by Q, and which of the following active sludge process has minimum food micron ratio is extended aeration. The maximum aeration period for the conventional activated sludge system is 6 hours. The organic loading at activated sludge plant is defined as mass of the BOD per day per volume of the aeration tank. Dash is defined as the volume in ml occupied by 1 gram of solid in the mixed liquor after 30 minutes of settling is sludge volume index. It is the definition of the sludge volume index. The design value of food to microorganisms ratio in the trapped aeration sludge process is around 0.4. Which of the following sludge process has maximum aeration period? It is extended aeration process. The maximum BOD removal efficiency of the stepped aeration process of the active sludge system is around 92% is removal efficiency for the stepped aeration process. The BOD of the sewage is dependent upon the food to micron ratio. It is true. Dash is the time at which the sewage is detained in the aeration tank. It is in the aeration period. Which of the following has minimum hydraulic retention time? It is in the modified aeration process. An activated sludge system consists of two components, an aerator and the clarifier, means secondary clarifier. How is the air pumped in the aerator unit? It is by bubble from bottom. Usually it may be bubble from the bottom. Which are the three ingredients in the activated systems is cell, sewage and oxygen. Mechanical stirring can be done instead of injection air from the bottom. It is true. The sludge particles concentrated is increased by the growth of the organism in the aeration tank. It is false. So these are the some of the MCQs which are commonly asked related to the activated sludge process in any competitive examinations, and all these things which may help you for the competitive examination. Okay, thank you.